Mikel.
Morning, Gary.
Thank you for your time. In the traditional manner, there's always something to talk to you about in terms of injuries, unfortunately, but first of all, can I check on Martin Odegaard? There's lots of news coming out of the club, but not officially yet, about how long he's likely to be out.
It will be weeks. No definite date for his return, but he's evolving well. Very unlucky what's happening with him and his injuries this season. But yeah, I think he will be back in a few weeks.
When you say that, that kind of brings into the equation, I guess, what people have been writing and saying that potentially after the next international break, it could be around that time.
It could be, but we'll have to see how he progresses, how the knee's healing, how he manages after the next steps in his rehab. So too early to give an answer.
Before the international break, you went top of the table. And during the break, you've gone into the top 10, Mikel, of longest-serving Premier League managers. Another milestone. How do you feel about that?
Well, very privileged and grateful, as always, and be present on the day because we know that our job is the only thing that requires.
And our target, I guess, is to do Craven Cottage, a bit of a bogey team, I guess you could say, in recent years there. What you did at Newcastle, where you got a result after a couple of bad trips. The same, hopefully, you hope for at Craven Cottage on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a good example. What we did at Newcastle or West Ham as well, that in the last 2 seasons as well, we lost against them at home. So that's an opportunity tomorrow. We know that it's a really tough place to go, a very well coached team, and we're going to have to be at our best tomorrow.
But keeping them out is obviously a big part of it, and you've done that well so far this season as a group. That's the best in all the top European leagues in terms of the number of goals you conceded in the first 10 games, all competitions, and the best ever of any Arsenal men's first team since Arsenal came into existence. 3 goals in 10 games.
Well, that's a platform to build performances and results, that's for sure, and we want to consistently be able to defend at that level. In order to do that is as well how well we attack and how committed everybody is to do what we have to do. And if we continue to do that, it's going to give us a big chance to get where we want.
When you are achieving those numbers, that must put confidence into the whole side, particularly that part of the pitch.
Yes, for sure, and as well, I think it tells about the organization of the team and the consistency that we are showing in many aspects. And the more we do those things in a lot of parameters throughout the season, and we establish ourselves in those categories at the highest level, and the bigger the chance will be to achieve what we want, for sure.
I imagine during the international break, as well as having a bit of downtime, you were watching some of your players who had great impact for their respective nations. Martinelli, I wanted to ask you about. He's only had 2 starts in the Premier League this season, scored for Brazil during the break. How much pressure is he putting on you to maybe be starting in that left wing position tomorrow even?
He's doing what we expect from everybody to do. It's when he's got the minutes, the opportunity to deliver and to impact the game and especially the results. And then his attitude overall, his behavior, the way he trains, the way he carries himself, his willingness to learn constantly. There are many examples throughout the team, but very pleased to see Gavi going to the national team again and scoring and performing well. That's all good signs because when they come back, the spirit is good, their confidence is good, so everything is easier.
Thank you, best of luck.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll try to get to everyone. There's quite a lot of people here today, so we can keep it to a couple each. So, Alex from the BBC.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Declan Rice said on England's duty that you've slightly changed his role this season, giving him some more freedom. Can you speak to us about how that change has been and how happy you are, how he's partnered up with Martin Odegaard?
Yeah, I think he's adapting to the qualities that we have, and as well certain chemistries, a certain relationship that you notice, and with 8 new players in the squad, different things emerge, and just trying to maximize his qualities in relation to others to give the team the best capacity to perform.
Before the international break, it was a bit of a tough time for Viktor Gyokeres, hadn't scored in 6 games. I know you're appreciative of the work that he was doing for his teammates. He didn't score for Sweden in the 2 matches. Do you have to pick him up at this point to lift his confidence, or do you think he'll be okay?
Yes, but I mean, he brings so much to the team. And watching the games back, I'm very pleased with what he's giving to the team. I told him before the first meeting, I said, the 9 that I want is a 9 that when he doesn't score for 6 or 8 games, he can handle that. If not, you have to go somewhere else because the pressure is gone, the expectation is going to be there. So if you put the number 9 shirt for Arsenal, you have to be able to say, okay, 6 games, don't score. Am I a different player? I start to act in a different way. I want much more of the same of what he's doing. And yeah, once we have those opportunities, put them. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Simon Standard?
Okay, just on Victor,
Yeah.
you talk about his sort of mentality. Is that something when you're scouting a player that you can find out about? And how did you go about that with Victor to know he was someone who could handle the pressure of doing that for us?
Going back in his history as well with Victor, it's a very different one. The beginning and when he wasn't even playing much, and then how he evolved his career. Then in the last year, very difficult to find a gap of that because I think he scored in every single match almost. But just preparing something, the context is going to change. It's part of football. You see the history of the number 9s. You're going to have moments like that. Hopefully it's through playing, not that you don't even have the option to play and you are injured. So his robustness is something really good. I'm really happy with him, full confidence. And when you look at him every single day, how much he wants it, that's exactly what you expect.
Harry, BBC Radio?
Mikel, it was mentioned a little bit earlier on that Fulham have been a bit of a bogey team recently, particularly at Craven Cottage. How much does that kind of play into your preparation for a game like this? And if it does, is there something specific that you do differently when you come up against a side that maybe in the past you've struggled against?
Well, you always learn from that. It's true that at the end they will have certain new players, the state of the teams and where we are, it is different to last season as well. And then the game, the context of the game changed, especially last year, immediately when we are in total control of the game and in one moment we concede the goal. And then it's a different game to be played. But we'll learn from it. Obviously, we want to make it different, especially the results that we had in the last few years, and do our best to achieve it.
And Mikel Merino was in good goal-scoring form again in midweek for Spain. Is that something that you would say he's added to his game a little bit more since arriving at Arsenal? Do you take some credit for his development in the final third?
I think the credit is with him because he had those qualities. I think obviously positioning players and insisting in certain qualities that can really impact and maximize the resources of the team. It's something that we made him aware, basically, and then as well his mindset. I mean, he's played as a right attacking midfielder, left attacking midfielder in different roles as well, and then as a 9. And then he has that. He always had that intuition, that quality to finish action, especially one touch inside the box, and now he's doing it very regularly, and I think he's enjoying it.